Okay, so let's see if you got the right answer. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find the slope. So on the top, we're going to subtract the y value. So I'm going to do 4 minus 1, which is 3. And on the denominator, I'm going to do negative 3 minus 6, which is negative 9. And then you need to remember to reduce that. So they're both divisible by 3, so that it's actually negative 1/3. Okay, so now we have the slope. And now we need to use a point and plug it into the formula. So again, the formula is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and x1 represents points. So I'm going to use the first point this time. So for the y1, it is a positive 1, so I can write y minus 1. And the slope is what I found, so that's going to be a negative 1/3. And then in the parentheses, I'm going to do x minus the x value. Well, the x value is 6, so I could have had x minus 6. If you chose the other value, you should have said y minus the y value, which was 4, equals negative 1/3 times the quantity x minus negative 3. And again, this part can be simplified, so really you should have had the final answer as your equation, y minus 4 equals negative 1/3 times the quantity x plus 3. Okay, so what if we have a graph? So I'm going to do this first one with you. If we have the graph, you're given 2 points on the graph, and we have to find the slope. So you can find the slope using the points, or you can do it using the rise over run. I'm just going to do the rise over run, so I'm going to draw myself a little triangle here. Not the best triangle, but you know, you get the feeling. So I need to figure out the slope, the rise. Okay, so the rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I need to find the run. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. Okay, so now that I need to reduce this, and I also need to think, was it a positive or negative? And it was a positive slope, so I just need to reduce this now. 2 goes into both of those, 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 4 twice. So the slope simplifies to 3/2. Okay, so the first one I'm going to write is for this point right here. And if I just look up here, I can do y minus the y value, so y minus 7, and then my slope was 3/2. And then I've got to do x minus the x value, and so I just have to put x minus 2. And there's no really simplifying on this problem. There's only really simplifying in point slope form if you have a negative point. One of the values is negative. Okay, but what if I wanted to use this point down here? This is negative 2, 1. So I'd have to do y minus the y value, which is 1. The slope is still 3/2. Now in this part right here, I'm going to have to do x minus negative 2. And so this is the part that has to be simplified. So my final answer to this one should be y minus 1 equals 3/2 times x plus 2. And you could have either that one or this one. You just need one of them. So I'm going to give you a chance to do this one by yourself. Please press pause, work it out. And as soon as you're done, hit unpause it. Okay, so let's see how you did. So M is the slope, so make myself a little triangle, and remember this one's negative. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, this would be 6, 7, 8. Okay, so rise over run, so I've got 8, and I've got 2 is the horizontal, so 8 is the vertical, 2 is the horizontal. I gotta remember that's negative, so that represents negative 4. So hopefully you had one of these two answers. Y minus 1 equals negative 4 times x plus 1, or y plus 7 equals negative 4 times x minus 1. Okay, this one's going to be a plus 1 because the x value was negative, and this one over here is going to be y plus 7 because the y value was negative. So if you have either one of those, you did it correctly. So hopefully you now can write an equation in point slope form, and you can find a point and the slope from an equation that is written in point slope form.